Hello, Kindred, and welcome back to another episode of Manapot Studios' Vampire the Masquerade stream, A Study in Ivory. I am your host and GM, Krifu Bernal. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm very excited to be back here with the penultimate episode of our first season. Let's go ahead and meet Le Coterie.
Woo! Mais
That's
oui.
us.
Starting with Marcus.
Hello. Bonsoir. My name's Marcus, online known as the Chindividual. And here on the Côte d'Azur, I play Maxime Toussaint, the Tremor member of the party who just keeps on getting into more and more complicated stuff. I'm glad to be back here.
Moving up, Anya.
Hello, I am Anya, also known as Lali on cosplay, literally everywhere. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Adelaide Villeneuve, the Toreador fashion designer for the rich and famous and disaster lesbian.
I love that new title. Yes.
I mean, she really is.
And hello, Henrik.
Hello there. My name's Henrik, also known as Der Weltenweber or Weaver of Worlds if you prefer. And in this group, I'm playing Rainier Benoit Throg, a Setite with many, many secrets up his sleeves, his very own agenda, and some plans that hopefully become clear this evening.
Okay, I'm excited. We'll see about that. And of course, inevitably, it's Inez.
Inevitably. That's beautiful. Hi, everyone. Inevitably.
Inevitably Inez. I love it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Inez. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I will be playing the true disaster lesbian, Megara Monet, who is the gang girl of this coterie. And yeah, I'm very excited. There's gonna be some good stuff in here. Woo!
Yeah, we'll see how far we can twist it in tonight's episode.
Twist the knife deeper.
Previously, specifically in the last episode, some members of the coterie went back to Madeleine's house and found one last bug that they had forgotten, missed in their previous experience there. And Rainier, sorry, I'm excited.
Henrik.
Rainier, because that's where I want to go with it. Anyway, Rainier discovered that the software in nature was written in Italian, its original language. And we'll see what exactly he's been doing with that information. At the same time, Maxime had an encounter with one of Meg's gangrel pack members, Lucille. And mayhaps the two are planning a mutiny.
I'm so disappointed.
It might be more than disappointing. It might be devastating.
Devastating.
Wow!
Emotional damage. But before we dive into all of that, please take us to the movies. We open on a cold and dreary night in Nice. No rain this evening, but the wind is blowing and a cold chill has entered the air. We can see the citizens of Nice scurrying from building to building, their jackets wrapped tightly around them. Although they're probably wearing gloves and shawls and hats. I can imagine, despite the fact that it doesn't get that cold on the Côte d'Azur, the chance for fashion they would never pass up. Speaking of fashion, we find ourselves once more in Adelaide's atelier. Adelaide, what do you look like? What do we see as the camera moves into your studio?
So, Adelaide is much more composed than she has been in recent times. It is near the end of the winter fashion rush, and she is dressed to perfection as always, wearing today 7-inch heels because she is feeling extra glam. They are sleek black with a red underside, and she is wearing hints of, because I always like to describe a little bit of what I'm wearing, hints of 1920s clothing. She's wearing a modified flapper dress and peacock feathers on a headband. What were the headbands called again?
Brain binders.
Brain binders. I love that they're called brain binders. She refuses to have her hair up, though. It is free-flowing curly locks. And she is wearing what some people would call vintage jewelry, but it's just her mother's jewelry.
What era did her mother live in?
So Adelaide is only roughly, including vampire years, about 90 years old.
Okay, under a century.
Yeah.
That would put us, the 1930s?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, her mother's jewelry. She was a young flapper, perhaps, in the 20s.
Mhm.
Now I just want to ask a whole bunch of questions about Adelaide's human memory. I will ask this one question.
Okay.
In addition to the jewelry that she's wearing,
Mhm.
what else, if someone saw Adelaide, if someone from her past saw her today, what is it about her that would remind them of her mother?
Her features, honestly. People would always say that she was like a tiny copy of her mother.
That
And
begets
people would
question.
come up to the streets to her saying, "Oh, don't I know you?" And then realize, no, she's much too young.
That begets the question, who was Adelaide's mother?
She was a model.
Oh,
That's why Adelaide got into fashion.
those old flapper magazines.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Third question, even though I said I was only going to ask one.
How dare? No, go ahead.
I can imagine that maybe Adelaide still even has some magazines, perhaps, that her mother was in, or some photos of her.
Absolutely.
And if, people came into her apartment not knowing that Adelaide was kindred, they might go, oh, cool, vintage pics.
Yeah, exactly. But she's held on to them.
Interesting. And okay, no more questions about Adelaide's mother.
I don't care. Ask away.
It's just, we never get a chance to delve into the kindred's backstories, which,
Mhm.
I
We
mean,
should really do a session
Yeah.
of just diving deep into the meat of the backstory.
who are they? Who were they? Specifically?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
We never
because-
get to see the embrace.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so many of us are like have lived so long that we want to know more.
Because
I
you've
mean,
been
I
vampire.
have Rainier's whole backstory defined, so I can lore drop that anytime.
I'm seeing some upcoming content before the next chapter.
Yeah, maybe some one shots.
But anyway, we're here in this session today.
Yes.
Adelaide, you're working on a ball gown,
Mm-hmm.
and your phone nearby begins to vibrate.
I look at it. Who is it?
It is your friend, Corentin.
Oh. Immediately pick it up.
Darling, you hear their voice. It's been simply ages since you last came to one of my parties. Are you coming by tonight or not?
Well, of course I can, Corentin.
Do I need to send you a car?
I think that would be a good idea.
Okay, it is on the way.
Very well. I just need to finish up a couple of things here, and then I will happily make my way to you.
They hang up without even saying anything after that. What do we... I think we hit fast forward on the scene of Adelaide sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like?
She is busily just hand stitching the final beadwork into this ball gown, and it is a massive, just so much fabric, and every single tiny bead has been hand stitched by Adelaide into this, and it looks almost like falling snow drifting down until the base that is just covered in pearls and crystals and gemstones, just trying to depict the snowfall.
Okay. As the pause, the play button gets hit again, and we're wrapping up the stitching, and grabbing jacket, bag, making our way out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Your phone vibrates again.
Who is it this time?
It is an email
Okay.
from your assistant?
Yes, they're my
Al-
assistant.
Your assistant, Alex. And a notification of resignation.
I immediately call Alex.
It rings. And it rings, and you think you're about to go to voicemail when they answer. Adelaide. Bonsoir.
Alex, what is this?
I'm sorry, Adelaide, but I have received a better offer.
From whom?
I need a name of a rival atelier in Nice.
In Nice. French name generator.
And anyone else can chime in with this as well.
Etienne. There we go.
Etienne. Etienne, what, Studios? I guess that sounds weird.
Yeah, it does. Etienne
yeah.
Atelier.
Okay.
That's so funny because the cat's name is Etiennette, right?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Should we try something else? Or are we happy with the coincidence?
I can pick a different name.
And people could chime in if they like.
This is true.
I mean, I'm thinking like, I mean, it is true that all the fashion names have the last names as their things.
Okay.
So I'm
glad
thinking
someone
more
else knows.
about a last name instead of a first name.
Okay, what about Albert? No?
That's
Don't
out.
like it?
No, I'm using it for someone else.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you don't like my grandfather's name.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure we have someone else. Anyway, no, that one's out.
Leclerc.
Leclerc. Do we have a Claire?
Nope.
Leclerc
So-
Rival Studio. Yes. So Alex tells you, I've accepted an offer with Leclerc.
What are they giving you?
They'll at least twice. Let me do it in character. It's at least twice what you give me.
Can I afford to pay them more?
You would have to cut back pretty drastically. Your subscription to the private jet co-op that you're a part of would have to go.
I
Unfortunately.
thought that Rainier gave me that.
I think everyone has a subscription, but yeah, if you were to up
Hmm.
Alex's income, their salary, that would be the price. And I'm sorry. I keep the books for your studio. I knew that it would not suffice. Look, you have a few months, and I will help you find the perfect replacement.
Alex, you know a lot about us.
You can hear like them hold their breath, like a soft intake of breath from them as they sort of stop breathing for a moment, and then they let it out. I've considered that, and that is one of the reasons I think it is best for me to move on.
Do I believe them?
We're gonna need a roll.
Okay.
What is it? Insight.
Yeah, let's see. I have
Insight and wits, please.
I have insight, specifically motives.
Oh, great! Absolutely.
Yes.
Add an extra die to this.
Okay. So there's those 4, and then what was the other one?
Wits.
Wits. Another 4. Cool. I'm rolling 8 dice.
Yep, she's real good at this. Corridor, baby.
Yeah. 1, 2, and it has to be over 6, correct?
Correct.
5. I have 6 successes. One of them is a 10, not on a blood die though.
That's fine. That's fine.
Another die.
You know that Inez spoke with Alex.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry. I've been using people's real names today.
Yeah.
Who is
what
Inez?
this?
Who's
Who's
Inez?
Inez?
Who is that?
Um,
I don't know
you-
I
that.
gotta fight.
You know that Meg spoke to Alex about a few days ago,
Yes.
and you can sense in Alex's voice that gasp that they involuntarily, that was fear coming out.
Mm-hmm.
My work is
At the
done
same
here.
time, 6 successes. At the same time, you know there's something else that Alex is not telling you, something that would hurt you if they told you. But there is the
So-
fear of vampires specifically.
Mhm.
That's also helping to drive this. The need for money, the fear of vampires, and a third thing, maybe not a motive, but something they're not telling you that they know would hurt you.
Alphonse has gotten to you, hasn't he?
They don't do that. That was Corfu.
No.
Adelaide, yes. Leclerc
What has he done?
Atelier is owned by Alphonse Noyer. I'm sorry.
If
There
she
are-
could do the exasperated sigh, she would.
You could make a rouse check and
Sure.
turn on Blush of Life so that you can do an exasperated sigh.
I will absolutely do
Hunger
this.
check, hunger check, hunger check.
What do I need to roll?
It's a rouse check, so just a 1d10. See if your
Okay.
hunger goes up.
It's a 2.
Your hunger goes up.
I'm at a 3 hunger now.
Yay!
Let me just
And give us your
find
most
that.
exasperated sigh. Adelaide, you don't understand. I don't want to involve you in this. I'm doing this for you, for your protection.
How are you doing this for me when you are going to the enemy? You know what he is trying to do to me.
And you don't. Look, it is your business, your decisions. This is my business, my decisions. I hope that we will not. I'm not trying to burn a bridge with you. It is just. This is the best option for me at the moment.
Your knowledge of us is dangerous.
And I promise I will take it with me to my grave. Please, Adelaide.
Do I believe them?
Six successes. It's not a question of whether or not you can tell that they're telling the truth. It's a question of what Alex believes.
Mm-hmm.
Alex believes, yes, they will keep it a secret. That is not something, if anything, you get the sense they want to forget that vampires exist.
Out of curiosity, is there a way to make someone forget?
With the right, I think 3 dots and dominate will do it. We got people nodding. Good.
I am looking at stuff. Where's dominate? Is that a discipline?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Does someone have dominate in our coterie?
Not enough for that.
Okay. Oh, I have dominate, but I only have 1 dot.
Hmm.
Okay.
If I'm not familiar with the employee rules and regulations, employment rules in France, but for like Germany, it's a 3-month leave, 3-month notification. So you've got a few months before they
Okay.
leave. I promise we can talk about this at the atelier tomorrow. I just needed to tell you. It is time.
I don't answer. I hang
Hello?
up the phone.
We see Alex like looking at their phone, and then it like cuts to like the black. If there were 2 sides, it would like the black would come down, and then it would frame out just to see Adelaide, probably steaming. It seems like.
Oh, yes. She is livid that this has happened. And that hunger also is driving her right now.
Okay. You get a text message letting you know that Corenton's car service has arrived and will wait until you are ready outside.
Adelaide goes over and makes sure that her anger and frustration has not ruined her perfect makeup.
Okay.
Double checks everything and just storms out the way a woman wearing 7-inch high heels can storm out.
Okay.
And locks the door behind her because she's not an idiot.
Of course. We sideswipe to a nearby church. A church in Nice is no simple church. It is a work of art, a piece of beauty, a cathedral. When we come around the alleyway next to this cathedral, and through a door that opens briefly as someone walks through into like a dimly lit hallway. Kind of steps down into the basement of this cathedral and into a room with people sitting in a circle of chairs. Meg, what does this scene look like? And what do you look like? What are you wearing tonight?
So if it swoops down, of course, it swoops down into this room and then it goes around the circle and there's tons of different people sitting there. I think they're humans. And they're sitting there. They look kind of shabby, you know, they don't have the best clothes, let's say that. Their clothing doesn't look amazing because when the camera stops on Megara, there sitting is actually it stops on Megara and then it has to look up because she's so tall. Because sitting there is about a 6'4" woman, I think we say. I forget every single time. 6'2" or 4. I think
She's tall.
4. Yes, she's very tall.
She's very tall.
She's very, very tall. And she is absolutely built. She's very broad shoulders, big biceps, thick thighs, and a very big midriff as well. You know there's a six-pack hiding under there. Hiding under the suit and tie that she's wearing. She's never seen without a suit and tie, except for if you're in the coterie, then you've probably seen her in some mostly less clothes because Gangrel love being next to nude. Yeah, she's in suit and tie. She has jewelry on. She has her makeup like this a little bit. She has complete cat eyes, like the pupils are like straight and like all that, and they're yellow. And she has a little row of a little sharper teeth as well. And she has this beautiful mane of curls, which is like swept to one side, and also over the other shoulder. Like it's kind of like jaw length for her, like chin length, let's say, chin length hair, but very, very curly. And it's like an auburn brownish color. And she's sitting there filing her nails. She's making them as sharp as they can. As sharp as they can be. She's
Okay.
kind of listening to whatever people have to say.
I think someone sort of says, yeah, and well, that was it. And then there's a lull as everyone sort of nods and they're listening. There is a person leading this group. Looking at the relationship map.
Yes. His name is Francois.
Francois, thank you. What does Francois look like?
Ooh. I think he is he's like, I think he's a person who has like a nice button up, like a nice blue button up with like a tweed like vest over it. With like maybe like a I think Francois is a man of God. I think he'd have like a chain, like a tiny chain with a cross on it in there. And he has this black hair that is like it's beautiful hair. Like it's combed to one side and it's completely straight, and it's like you see that that is the one thing that he spends a lot of time on his hair, because it's like slick with like gel and it's like oiled nicely and it's really, really cool. And then he has this curly mustache.
Oh my god, he's played by Pedro Pascal.
Yes, absolutely.
He's in
just
everything
without the
these days.
beard.
Okay.
Just without the beard. because Pedro Pascal has a beautiful beard, but he just has a mustache, and it's very curly.
Okay.
And he has piercing blue eyes, and he does like the khakis as well, and like, but like nice dress shoes. So
Francois says, "Well, thank you for sharing that, Daniel." He looks around. The room is filled with the sound of people clearing their throats, sipping their coffee, and Meg filing her nails. Francois looks over. Megara, we haven't heard from you tonight. Anything to share with the group?
well, today marks year, what is it, 15, day 265 of no more drugs. I think I've been doing well. I mean, no more at all, I think that's quite a feat. It's been hard, of course. I mean, struggling every day, but there's other things that make up for it.
Things like
People.
relationships are often something that helps us hold on to our sobriety.
Yes, absolutely. Relationships are a key part for me. I mean, truly. I love being around people, and I love just sharing conversations and getting to their core,
I think he and probably like one or two other people in the circle sort of smile, hold back a chuckle, maybe because they know Meg. And they recognize that as it sounds like a joke to me.
I mean, here's the thing. She's definitely talking about murdering people. About eating them.
Yes.
But she's keeping it PG. Let's say that. She's keeping it human friendly.
I mean, they don't know, but like, yeah.
Yes.
So Francois says, if I can ask, what is it about your relationships today that are surfacing in your thoughts?
Well, there is this one woman.
A new relationship, and a few people are in the circle are nodding their heads. They've heard of this. They know a little bit about this new relationship.
She is wonderful. She really has it all like figured out, She has her own business, people working for her, people who adore her, truly. I see her go out and make these beautiful things for people, and they collect them with open arms, and it's just inspiring, I guess.
You feel inspired. Is that good?
Inspired to work harder, for sure. To keep her safe.
Why is it that you feel you need to keep her safe?
Because I care about her.
He turns to the group and he says, as addicts, we it's possible for us to often feel the need to protect what we have. Sort of hoarding mentality is not the right word, but it is a defense mechanism. We're worried that the things we have, that are a part of us, will be taken away. Our identity will be taken away. A few people are nodding. It's often why we turn to using. It's a part of our identity.
I agree. You make good points, Francois.
I tried to. There's a knock on the open door into this room, and there is an older-looking priest. I assume they're both wearing like black shirts and collars and shit. And shit. Excuse me. I would ask now, Renier, to describe this man, Yvain Traverse.
Yeah, as you said, he's an older gentleman. He's got a bit of a sunken face that looks like he's been up all night. He wears his robes very, very neatly, almost to the point where one could say maybe it's a bit overly pedantic how he wears them, and he moves with a certain purpose. It's almost impossible to find him, just walking about. He always knows where he moves to, and he always knows what he wants there. So he has a very decisive aura about him.
This older priest, excuse me, father, brother? They're not monks. But father, maybe? Yeah, we'll stick with that.
Sure.
I'm Jewish. I don't know.
I'd probably combust if I enter a church, so I don't know either.
Me too.
Father Francois, if I may have a moment with you. Francois nods. Let's go ahead and take a break for now. Thanks, everyone. He stands up, and a few people sort of get up and move over to get some coffee. I don't know, a cruller? Donuts feels like a weird thing to be in a
A
cathedral.
beignet.
Yeah, maybe.
A pain au chocolat.
Mhm.
Oh. Yeah, Meg will
Uh,
stay seated. She has no use for these things.
Maggie, you can see them talking. And sort of through the door, a third person comes in. Father Yvain beckons them over and begins introducing them to Francois. This person is Angel.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's a stark contrast between the two priests and this angel person who is dressed, if I remember correctly, in like latex goth fetish gear.
Yes, and like raver clothing, I'd say. Like tech wear, like cyberpunk, like looking very, very insane, neon colors, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What do you do?
Is there a bathroom?
Yeah.
Is it past them?
There is one, like a small water closet in this room.
Shit. What do I do? No. I think I'll stay seated. However, I would like to put up my daunt.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Interesting. So 1 dot in presence, daunt, I think improves your like intimidation stuff.
Um, instead of attracting people, the vampire uses presence to repel.
Okay.
Add the user's presence rating to any intimidation rolls. Yes.
Got it. So yes, so it's a good thing you did that because Francois nodding and then like looks into the room and looks straight at you.
And so what he sees, because my daunt is up, is that my hair has covered a little bit more of my forehead, and it has created a shadow that is like right here, and my two piercing eyes looking through that shadow right at him. And I am sitting there like legs widened and like hunched forward.
Go ahead and make an intimidate and charisma check.
So I also have a specialty which is called menacing.
Aha! Okay.
Can I use that?
Yes. Yeah.
Lovely. So intimidation and what you said?
Charisma.
Charisma. Got it. Intimidation, charisma, and then I use my presence. I get my presence and my specialty, so that's 2 more dice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sucks. Can I willpower that?
Sure. Everyone has regained 1 willpower, FYI.
Oh, that's nice. Wait, hold on. Cancel that. Wait, because there we go. Okay. There. No, 3 dice, please. Oh, all of those are successes. So 5 successes in total.
5 successes. Francois looks at you, looks dead into your eyes, turns back to Father Yvain and shakes his head, puts his hand up, and you see him mouth the word, "No, absolutely not." And Yvain sort of nods. Angel looks really put out, and the two of them leave.
Okay. Thank God.
Francois comes back and pulls you to the side.
I will then drop daunt. I will no longer be daunting. And I will go over.
I think I've only seen you look like that the first night you came. I don't know what they wanted. I know you saw me. They were looking for you.
Of course.
Said you were in trouble.
So worried about nothing.
Not nothing. Father Yvain wouldn't have come to me unless it was specific, Meg. Are you connected with the Vatican in any way?
Am I? I don't think so. No. I go. So Megara doesn't know. So she makes a face, and then she goes, "No, Francois, I am not."
Okay. Well,
Why did they say something about that?
Father Yvain, he's a representative of the Côte d'Azur in Vatican policies. He has the ear of people there, of fathers and priests there. I don't know much more about that. He's keeps to himself mostly private matters, but I've known you well enough that I would trust you with this information.
So what did Angel say?
They were just looking for you. I said, definitely not right now. After the session, I'll gladly walk you out.
I think I can do that myself, thank you.
He nods, and everyone seems to be coming back to their chairs, and he nods to you and just heads back to his chair, ready to continue the session.
Yeah, he walks past me. And I'm just kind of in the corner there. scratching my hand, thinking. And then I turn around and go to my chair with a pained look on my face. Pained? No. A lost in thought look on my face.
Okay.
I don't seem to be there. My eyes are like wandering.
The camera fades to black there. And if I'm correct, before the camera opens once more, we hear, correct me if I'm wrong, Renier, the clacking of keyboard keys.
Exactly. Probably some light music to focus to, but mostly very fast clacking of keyboard keys.
Okay. What do we see as the camera opens?
The camera, I think it opens on one of Rainier's eyes. He has pale green eyes where Côte is reflected into them, and then it slowly zooms out. Rainier doesn't look his usual self, still has his, trademark beard, long frizzy hair, and all that, but his outfit is a lot more disheveled than he usually makes himself appear. He also doesn't wear his trademark grin, but he's extremely focused, occasionally rubbing the bridge of his nose, looking over the code he's written, shaking his head, clicking somewhere, tapping onto the keyboard again, nodding. He's in the zone, as they say.
What are you working on?
Since last night we found this bug that Rainier hacked a little bit. He's currently writing a small program that basically traces back the little bit of information he's injected into the database. And if it finds it somewhere on the internet, it will send the data, let's say, to a burner phone he's already set up. Can't be too secure, for him to analyze later. So, the finding the stuff part is the easy part. Now it's about making it so secure that it cannot be traced back to him. Or at least not without serious work.
I want to see how far along you are with this. If any information has come back, an IP address at the very least, that you can track to a location, perhaps.
All right. That's intelligence computer, I think.
Yes.
Or technology, I'm sorry. I have a specialty in coding.
Go for it.
All right. There we are. Oh, I'm gonna willpower that.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That is a good idea indeed. Slightly
Oh,
better.
that's a crit. How many successes?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
5.
I think it's 6. Yeah, it's 5. You're right.
Isn't it 4? It's a crit is 2 successes, and then there's 2 more.
No, then it would be 6. You're right.
Oh,
Because there are two 10s.
True,
so each
because
one counts as 3.
if there's 2 10s, then both count as 2.
But not a
just
messy.
the second
So
one.
6 successes. That's
Got
still
it.
really, really good.
beautiful. That's really good.
The code is typing, and then your burner phone. A lot of vibrating phones tonight. I feel like if I know Rainier, the phone begins to ring. Beep 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 beep.
Rainier nods in satisfaction and looks at the phone to see what is there.
You've
Just
got a
look at my
hit.
phone for method acting.
You have an idea. You have an IP address as to where this information is going, the database. Or at least
Rainier,
where it's flowing through. You don't know if that's its final spot, but it is the first place it goes from the router that was placed in Madeline's house.
I mean, it's a start. So Rainier will try to, just do the obvious thing and try to backtrace the IP via, the first thing that comes up when you find trace IP in Google, just to see what he's dealing with.
What would that show? You maybe know more than me.
The general region, I think. I'm just gonna Google trace IP, IP tracker, IP tracer, find track, trace IP address location. It's not, the specific house, but where the station is, the IP goes through. So it's like, say you're sitting in Paris, then it's probably gonna show Paris, but nothing more than that. And if you're near Paris, it's probably gonna come up as Paris as well.
Okay, it's definitely in Nice. The IP
All right.
address for this. You also. I don't know anything about IP addresses except that they're unique.
I mean, Ranier could try to trace it a bit more, but without
Details
going
about an IP address include refer, exit, browser name and version, platform, country, region, city, Nice, GPS longitude and latitude.
Ooh.
Interesting. I mean, but that's still pretty specific. So like Nice would be as close as that gets, I feel like.
Yeah,
I will
probably.
say that the ISP, provider and carrier, is an Italian company. A company from Rome specifically. And if you did a simple Google search on this company, you would see that they provide internet services to high, very, very secure Italian government agencies, as well, surprise, surprise, as the Vatican.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
Ranier probably mumbled some curses under his breath, but tries to keep his cool for now. But he's gonna need to talk to his people about that. Still, I think that's as much as he can do for now, so he's probably gonna take up his real phone, not his burner phone, and actually try to reach someone else.
Okay. Who is that?
For now, at least. He's gonna try to call his Mavla, Rana.
His sire.
Yeah. She's his Mavla and his sire, so yeah.
The phone answers, and we see a second screen, sort of, again, that half, lots of phone calls today, that half and half on the camera. And we see, I think we see the hand picking up the phone. This is a landline.
Very old school.
I mean, technically you're not allowed, Camarilla terms, to use cell phones or call each other on cell phones, because the Second Inc has hacked that as far as the Camarilla knows. It's why living together sort of negates the need to talk to each other via cell phone.
True. But still, he's gotta reach her somehow.
In this case, exactly. Maybe you're using a landline then.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think Ranier is paranoid enough to do that. So he just, stands up, walks to his landline phone, and calls Rana on that.
What is the scene we see and the person who picks up the phone?
So I imagine at first you see a slightly pale but definitely dark hand. So, like a person who was maybe from the Middle East when she was alive. Very sharp, pronounced nails. But the background is very scholarly. So, lots of books on shelves on the wall, some curio from all around the world. Rana herself is a woman with rather short hair, just about chin length. She has very, very angular features, usually wears long, flowing robes, and has green eyes, much like Ranier's, but very piercing. So while Ranier's eyes usually aren't So, most people don't see them anyway, but Ranier's eyes are very mellow. Hers are piercing, like she's looking into your soul.
Ranier. Good evening.
Ranier answers in Arabic, actually, because I think he'd speak that to her as a sign of respect. Good evening. I hope I'm not interrupting anything important.
She answered in English. She switches to French, and so we just see captions in different colors appear. Please, let us speak French. It has been quite a time since I've been able to enjoy that language.
Of course. Well, I am calling to ask if you are free to discuss some business matters tonight. Matters that I feel are best discussed in person.
You wish to call on me?
I do. I find myself in need of your advice.
I've been keeping to myself much. It will be hard to see someone, but for you, I'll make it work, my child. Perhaps my head has been in the books for far too long, as they say.
All right. Shall we meet at our usual place then?
Oh, what is that?
I imagine that Ranier has bought a house that lies, let's not say in the worst parts of Nice, but somewhere that's very nondescript. The house equivalent of his car, very nondescript, under a pseudonym, of course, and he hasn't told anyone about it. It's the kind of house that's just isolated enough for people not to notice that basically no one's there most of the time, but still not, how should I put this, expensive enough to really be of interest to anyone.
I'll have the butler pack my bag. Might as well stay for the night if I'm making the trip so late. See you soon,
course.
dear.
Of course, I will make way there and hopefully be there to see you in.
Please do.
Of course. See you then, Rana.
She nods and hangs up.
Ranier, I mean, he doesn't need to breathe, but there are times where you just need to take a deep breath to stabilize yourself, and then he's gonna, lock his PC, take his burner phone, take his usual stuff, and make his way out. He is a bit hungry, but now he doesn't really have the time to indulge, so it has to do. And of course, he takes his nondescript, what did we say? I think was the Renault or Citroën, something like that. His nondescript car, not the
Okay.
Aston Martin.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Okay. Rainier drives off, and the camera zooms up on the outside of the penthouse to Maxime's apartment. I believe that's where you are, Maxime?
Correct. Yes.
A much more level-headed Maxime we see this evening.
Very. He looks in his apartment like he had a really good night of sleep, if it was truly sleep that vampires do. And there's a certain sense of, well, rest over his face, and he's currently standing in front of one of his many bookshelves and is looking at a certain part of his shelf with a lot of its more occult books that he owns. And at the same time, on a small table next to him lies this axe that he found underneath the floorboards that a certain someone pointed out to him. He pulls out one of the books on his shelf, an old, very dusty, leather-bound tome, and he's just flipping through it. And in his head, he's reaching out to the suit. This might become a quite interesting night. It might be a bit more to your liking, he says internally.
We can see in front of Maxime materializing the suit, this 80s style white guy with dark hair, like gelled back in a suit, Christian Bale, standing there. What, are we finally gonna eat some steak? Smoke a cigar? Gotta say, if I were undead, if I were undead and had a physical form, I'd certainly be trying to enjoy life a little bit more than you do.
You assume that I never enjoyed life?
I've been with you for a couple of nights now, and I gotta say, you gotta stick up your ass, my friend.
I think I would rather call it that I have certain ambitions. And
That's why I like you.
They require a certain attitude.
Discipline's important. If I hadn't, well, I was alive at least, hadn't watched what I ate and went to the gym every day, I wouldn't have gotten to where I was.
Did a lack of exercise get you to your grave?
No. Well, that's a story for a different time. But listen. And he sort of like sits down across from you. On the Roman, were you on the sofa or on a chair?
No, I'm like standing in front of a bookshelf. I
You're
just
standing in
picked
front
out
of a
one of the
bookshelf.
books. So,
Okay,
but
okay.
there's seating space. He could sit down.
So he like walks past you, through you even. And to be fair, you can't see him. Like, he's not appearing here. This is all a metaphorical vision, essentially, for the conversation that's being had. Doesn't really matter where he is, but cinematic liberty. He moves over to a chair, a lounge chair, and sits down, crosses his legs. We had a deal, friendo. You take me out. He punches his fist. Let me enjoy life. Then I'd help you. I've been trying to help you. You don't seem to like my advice much. But we can make things happen. We can make magic, baby. You just have to say yes.
Funny you would mention magic. And I put the book I pulled out down on the little table next to the axe. And I flip it open. And it's a book filled with Latin and other kind of old languages. And there's just pages filled with text, but also with like these diagrams, like these occult symbols, these pentagrams and circles and all kinds of strange symbols. And Maxime quickly turns to one page, looks at it and says, I think we're going to make some magic happen tonight. And he starts like unbuttoning the sleeve of his shirt.
What are you up to? What is this?
We have a few very dangerous conversations ahead of us. Have you ever been in your life in a conversation that you found more threatening than a loaded gun?
Yes.
I work with a woman who is a living weapon and
Okay.
who associates with a group who might even be just as scary as she is. And I respect them for that. Invoking fear and dread in others is a skill I haven't fully mastered yet.
So you need my help.
And at this point, Maxime has like his lower arms exposed. In what way could you help?
Let me take the wheel. You'll see what I'm good at. And he looks down at the axe.
I look over at him. I look at the axe.
With that in our hands, you won't be threatened by mere conversation.
What would I know about the risks of allowing a ghost to possess you?
Let's do occult and intellect. You've been reading on it?
You are scaring me, sir. You are scaring.
Technically, he's already possessing you.
Yeah,
me.
yeah, just a little technicality.
Yeah.
No modifiers. Let's go. Oh, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there's 2 10s in there, so that's a total of 8 successes on that roll.
Okay. You know that without an extremely strong will, that you would lose yourself under full control, full possession, without someone externally able to exercise the ghost.
Exorcise the ghost.
Yes, he would remain in control. Meta-wise, metagaming, you would be able to spend willpower to take control for a scene, but he would be in charge otherwise.
Would I know that if someone incapacitates me while I'm possessed, if that would also help?
Help
Like,
to exercise?
well, yeah, to imagine hypothetical scenario, someone would stake me while I'm possessed.
Mhm.
Would that at least I'd be in torpor, of course, that's another problem, but
The ghost would remain confined in your body
right.
and be subject to all of the things that vampires are subject to.
That is a good thing. So I hear those words from the suit. I look at the axe, I look at my bare arms, and there's an idea brewing in my head. I turn to him. Stay close today. Stay close. And when I give the word, you can show me your craft. But first, I want to show you my craft. And I start I pull out from a drawer in the table, I pull out a little knife, and I look at some of the diagrams in the book, and I just gently put the blade against one of my lower arms. And that's where we can fade to black.
What are we doing? What's going on?
I'm basically just teasing that Maxime is making some preparations. I would like, if we're going to like into any later conversations today, at the start of that scene, I would like to be prepared to use one of my blood sorcery rituals known as Scorpion's Touch, which allows me to make like actual poison that also harms kindred. The idea here being is that Maxime just wants to be prepared if shit hits the fan. He can at least have some of that Scorpion's Touch available, and have that ready. He cannot make it right now because it only lasts for a scene, but I'm basically just want to describe that he's running some preparations. He's reading up on his rituals for that, the incantations, just preparing that.
Okay. So we stayed on that. And we come up. Might as well go back to where we started. Adelaide, you are making your way to Corenton's yacht and the party that's going on.
Indeed. My apologies if you hear lots of snoring. My pug is very loud right now. That's why I muted that whole time.
We don't even see Adelaide like exiting the vehicle and boarding the yacht. We just start on the yacht.
Yes.
Corenton and you are sitting inside. Everyone at the party is sitting at the main dining room table in the interior of the yacht. It's a bit odd. It seems like the party has sort of devolved into a card game. I'm not sure what card game it is. Something posh
Rummy.
but simple. Rummy. Okay, sure.
Not bridging?
Hey, I know how to play a modified version of Rummy.
You and Corenton are probably not playing. Just sort of sitting nearby as other
That was
guests.
Anya.
Okay.
Yeah,
As
I
other guests.
personally know how to play.
Okay.
Adelaide, no way. She doesn't play cards.
As the guests are playing, Corenton says, Adelaide. We see Corenton, this dark-skinned person, bald head, long dangling sort of just like silver chain from their left ear tonight. I think wearing, this is hard, a flared black pantsuit. So the legs are flared out and the arms too, all like a one piece. Oh no, it's a pantsuit. It's 2 pieces, but like definitely as they walk, you could like their hands and feet are like covered, so they kind of looks weird. But fashion.
I feel like they would be wearing a matching black lace top.
Ooh, yes.
Kind underneath this.
Thank you. My dear, my darling, Corenton says. Please tell me, you were in Milan recently, no? How was it? I must visit Italy. It's been so long.
Oh, it was dreadfully dull. Believe me, darling, you would not be interested at all.
I sensed something might have been off when you first arrived. Is everything all right?
Something that concerns me. Now, my assistant has decided to leave me.
Ah, Alex? But why?
Yes. Apparently, I don't pay them enough.
Well, that is the one constant in this world. Money.
Money, greed, and gambling debts.
You cannot blame them, darling. They are meager.
Yes, but They are a little bit of a loose end because they know about us.
They nod. That is correct. How desperate are you?
Me, desperate? Never.
I mean, we wouldn't want our newly appointed sheriff hunting you down for a masquerade breach, would we?
No, this is true. I think that they wouldn't reveal our secrets, but things can be done under duress.
If I were you, I would simply. They look like at the rest of the table, which are all
Mhm.
humans,
Yes.
and sort of lean over to you. Bind them in a whisper to you. Secure their loyalty. It is very simple.
And what is the best method, would you say, for that?
A glass of wine, a drop of blood.
Hmm. You're not wrong. And they do like their wine.
And then give them a raise and the promise of promotion and be done with it. That is how I've kept most of my staff over the decades.
Well, the problem for me is that that raise is a little bit of a problem with Alphonse breathing down my neck.
Alphonse, Corentin like grabs their like neck here. Ah, I was aware that you two had issues, personal issues. Has nothing to do with me, but what is going on?
He's trying to run me out of business.
A little friendly competition, Adelaide. Are you not up to snuff?
He is sabotaging me. Alex has gone over to Alphonse's side.
Ah, that is unfortunate. Well, as I said, you can secure your employee, and I don't know. I could speak with Alphonse for you.
How do I feel about Corentin and their relationship with Alphonse? Because they have invited Alphonse to many of their parties.
Alphonse has a standing invitation, just as you do. He's not here
Mhm.
tonight, but
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, but why does he have a standing invitation? It's something that doesn't make sense to Adelaide. There's a disconnect there.
You know that they're in business together, that
Mhm.
like a lot of Corentin has a lot of investments there.
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a politics and wits roll, please.
Okay, hang on. I need to scroll up. Politics. I have one. And with okay. I'm rolling 5 dice. 10, 8, 7, 7, 4. I got 4 successes on that.
4 successes. Yes, as I said, you know that Corentin has investments in Alphonse's various companies.
Mhm.
He is a venture capitalist of sorts. I think that's the best way to describe what Alphonse does.
Mhm.
But it's more than that. Corentin enjoys his company. They have good conversation in a way that you've never had with Alphonse. Obviously, you and Corentin get on as well, and you know that Corentin has always found it amusing that the two of you don't like each other.
Mhm.
But they've always assured you, obviously, you are kindred. You are a member of their court.
Mhm.
It's no competition.
Okay.
Yeah. Shall I talk to Alphonse? It would be no would be quite simple.
I just want to continue on the way that I have. Being forced into a corner is not ideal.
No, but I've always had the feelings that you actually, as much as the two of you bicker, that you actually have somewhat of a lack of Alphonse, no?
The competition is interesting, but only when it's fair.
Adelaide, you are one of the only people I trust in this city. I mean, of course, Sheriff Maxime is an asset.
Mm.
Megara and Rainier have been proving themselves slowly over the years. But it is you I trust the most, and so I ask you this honestly. As much as you dislike Alphonse, what would you think of him becoming involved?
Involved.
I have been thinking of taking him on as a. He looks to the rest of the room and looks back at you.
Mm-hmm.
A mentee.
Question. If Alphonse just dies of old age, is that a problem for Adelaide?
No,
for
you
humanity?
you can switch
Okay.
that before that happens.
Okay. Just
If-
curious, because I was like,
If he were to become embraced by Corentin,
mhm.
that would affect you.
Yes.
Which
It
is
would
what she's talking
be-
about here.
Yes. It would be non-ideal.
You would be above him. And as his mentor, I could simply say, leave her alone.
I feel as if he were a mentee that I would be forever looking over my shoulder. That is a step too far for me.
I need you to make a persuasion roll.
Okay.
Manipulation and persuasion, please.
And I'm assuming that body language would have nothing to do with persuasion here.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. I figured, but it's always worth asking. Double checking. Yes. Rolling 6. Only 3 this time. I got a 9 and 10 and a 6.
Let me think.
Okay.
3 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is unfortunate. They purse their lips and sort of suck their teeth. Adelaide, to be real with you, I have no other choice. Alphonse is up to something and I need to control his actions. Taking him in would only secure my position and protect my assets.
There's a no-win situation here for Adelaide right now. Because we can't kill him. Him being embraced would be very bad as well for humanity. And he's not old enough to die of old age.
No. No.
Or any natural causes.
Corentin shrugs. My apologies, but I have to make this move. There are pieces being moved, claimed around me. I've heard. They stop. Let's just say Paris has been moving for some time now. And you spoke of loose ends. I am simply trying to clear up my own.
Corentin, no matter what you do here, you will wound me.
No. Please say it is not so.
Nothing that can happen here will be good for me. There's no right answer here.
All is not lost. You've not lost me as a friend. From where I am sitting, this can only help you. I will take him in and bring him to heal.
And Adelaide is just twisting the ring on her finger over and over and over, and thinking about everything that is going to go wrong with this situation. I can't think of what the best case scenario is here, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to be bad no matter what.
I tell you all this is a sign of respect. And I'm willing to... I need a court that can stand on their own, Corentin says. And he's kind of... He's talking real low now because we're sort of losing
Yes.
a lot of the, like, fancy ephemeral words that the Camarilla likes to use around humans.
Mm-hmm.
The... What are they called? Le Cid d'Azur. There have been some conversations. Things are happening, and I have never, in my time as Prince and Nice, in the many decades I have ruled, have felt so insecure in my position.
What are they saying?
There has been talk of shoring up leaks, weaknesses, making sure that the chain that protects Le Côte d'Azur is strong. A few of the other princes are pointing their fingers at me as the weakest link. Me! Le Côte d'Azur would be nothing without Nice.
And she puts her hand on their shoulder. The chain will not be broken. We'll figure this out. You have us. You have me.
And they put their hand on yours. That is exactly why, Adelaide, I need to promote you.
Promote me.
I've been thinking of this for a time. The 5 of us have been running Nice with little problems. But with all of this, without real titles to put behind you, in front of your name, Parry just won't acknowledge that is my failing as prince here, that I have not kept a more rigid structure of hierarchy. But I'm trying to change. I don't know what we are going to give you. RP just... especially with that Roz. No. I need you in charge, not just collecting information and tidbits and gossip and favors and whatnot. I need you commanding.
I am yours to command.
I need someone to keep house. If Maxime can focus on external threats, then perhaps you can focus on internal. If Alphonse is making moves that I do not know about, I need to know. He is basically a member of my court, all in but name. As Seneschal, you would be in charge of watching the court, of keeping my house in order. And they would have to listen to you. You'd be my chief advisor.
And that has the gears turning in Adelaide's head because that's a lot of responsibility.
But Corentin can see you, and she smiles. I do hope you will consider it at the very least as my oldest friend and niece.
Give me the night to think. I'll get back to you.
They nod. Well, then perhaps we should break for an digestif.
C'est une bonne idée.
I think I see someone looking your way. And playing rummy on the other side of the table is the young woman from a party months ago who you've seen time and time again. She always tries to get your attention.
Is this the one that I fed on in the very
Yes.
first episode?
This is Rebecca,
Okay.
a young human woman with, I want to say like wavy auburn hair, pale skin, if I remember correctly. You affected her with that entrancing kiss,
Yes, I did.
the lingering kiss.
Lingering kiss.
And she's been lingering ever since.
Mm. I just look over towards her, stand up. Oh, you can't see my hand. Gesture
Second.
towards her and walk away.
You're at hunger 3?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
It's not good.
No, it's not. How much blood are you taking from her?
So this is the first time I'm doing a feeding since that very first episode. You're gonna have to remind me.
So you can take 2 dots. If you take if
Okay.
you remove 3 dots of hunger, you kill her.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna do that.
2 dots will leave her very weak, but it will not hospitalize her.
Okay.
She'll be anemic and low energy for a few days.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Okay,
I'm willing to do that.
great.
And can I do the lingering kiss again? Does that do like trying to get her? What does the thing do?
I think so. It's free. You can choose to use it or not during the
Mhm.
feeding. Technically, she would have. At this point, it's been several months. She would like
Mhm.
the kiss itself would have faded.
Yes.
She's still interested in you. There's still interest,
Mhm.
but not the sort of mere obsession that was there at the beginning.
Yes.
So yes, you can absolutely try to induce that obsession.
Okay, because hey, easy munchins. I'm here for it.
Okay, there you go. Easy munchins. That's what we're calling it.
Hey, it's my birthday. Don't make fun of me.
Yeah, easy munchins. We are in a small, not too ornate house on the outskirts of Nice. I imagine it's like on the northern side,
Yeah, pretty. I think so.
where it's sort of blending into the country, the land, if you will, which is quite mountainous. There's a lot of hills at the very least.
Hmm.
What does this house look like?
I have it sort of defined out, or sort of defined it during the break, and basically what it says is it's an IKEA house. It looks like IKEA had rented a whole house just to make it look like, look at what you can do with IKEA. So it has a certain, it looks like someone lives in there, but not really, if you know what I mean. It's got everything you need, but somehow it's a bit, it doesn't look lived in.
Okay, of that IKEA showroom.
Yeah, pretty much. Good old
We
IKEA.
come, we arrive, and Renier, you are. There's like a beep somewhere that says the garage is opening, and someone is arriving. And from there's probably a door that goes into the garage from the house. I mean, I'm sure it's a nice house,
Yeah.
despite being.
I mean, it's nice. It's just nothing to write home about.
And two people come in. One of them is Rana's butler, who you are quite familiar with. You've known him your entire unlife. The
Hmm.
blood that she feeds him every month sustains him immortally. He nods and heads straight to the main quarters, main bedroom where Rana will be staying this morning rather. And then Rana sweeps in after him. She takes a hard look at you, her green, piercing eyes, staring into yours and then looking up and down. And then she comes forward and gives you a hug and kisses you on both of your cheeks.
Ranier does the same, but he's a bit shaky. He's a bit nervous. She's one of the very few people he deeply and genuinely respects.
My child, come, let us sit.
It is
How-
so good to see you.
Likewise. Although, it's never good when you say that.
I'm afraid it isn't. I'm afraid we are in over our heads at the moment, and there are some things I'd like to ask you, some things I'd like to run by you, and some things I feel you'd need to know.
Okay, then.
So,
Let's adjourn to a sitting place. I taught you better than that. Let's get
All right.
comfortable before we get into business.
Of course. Let's go then. And Ranier would lead her to, I think, the living room. Perfect IKEA sitting room, pictures on the wall showing Big Ben and the Eiffel Tower and what else. Very artsy.
Yeah. Yep. She lets you take the sofa and she moves to like a big master chair, sits down, crosses her ankles, and sort of clasps her hands on top of her knees. What is it?
Well, Ranier tries to make himself comfortable, clears his throat. First of all, I trust you remember the things I told you about the harpy that came here. That we, shall we say, lost.
Out of character, how much did you actually tell her?
I don't think Ranier actually keeps secrets from her, so if they had a face-to-face conversation, any time after the whole thing went down, he would have told her basically everything.
Got it. We'll say this is the second time you've seen each other since then.
Yeah, she is a busy woman, but I'd like to believe that she makes time for Rainier.
She does. You are her only child, and it is important, especially as members of the Camarilla, as Camarilla ministry members, that you stay united. It's very
True.
much a thing of hers.
Well then,
The one you lost. Yes.
Exactly.
The rose.
let's just say there have been questions about it, and we have gotten an offer. Name someone, anyone who should be a suspect in that case, and it will be done, if you know what I mean. The problem is that we have run into a dead end.
Who gave you this offer?
I'm trying to remember, does Rainier know that? Because I'm not sure. I know that Maxime knows, but I don't know if Maxime told Rainier.
I did, at least with Megara and Rainier. We
I
had
think-
this conversation where I did also drop that it was Richard who offered us this.
That's why we
True.
know. That's why we picked up Madeleine and all of that. So
Mm.
yes,
Yes,
True.
exactly. Yep.
everyone, the coterie knows Madeleine is Richard Bar's child, and he is the Prince of Ken, and has offered this sort of absolvement,
Mm-hmm.
or rather, co-conspiracy.
Well, in that case, Rainier will just outright say it. It was Richard, Prince of Ken. He did not say that to me directly, I should add, but Maxime. But that notwithstanding, it is an offer that we can't really afford to throw aside.
That Richard knows of what happened. That is very interesting. Corentin is still in the dark, or
As far as I know, yes.
you didn't want to offer her up?
I feel that it would be unwise to do so. Corentin, let's call it what it is an idiot. Corentin is a useful idiot. With them on the throne, a lot of things are very, very easy to accomplish, and I would not want to throw them under the bus for something that maybe could be done otherwise, which is why I'm talking to you. Maybe there is another person that has everything we need, a person that neither I nor the rest of my coterie have any conceivable link to, a person that was at least around Nice during that time, or it's unknown where they were during that time, a person that is powerful enough to take care of something like that, and a person that maybe is better off for us to be gone, if you know of any such person, that is. Because otherwise I would be willing to throw Corentin under the bus and start anew with whoever succeeds them, but if at all possible, I would like to keep them.
She smiles. I'm so proud of how astute your observations are. Corentin is very useful. But you left out the fact that without them, Le Cité d'Azur falls apart. It may not be obvious from where you sit serving under the prince, but they are well respected on Le Côte d'Azur. To lose them would put a target on the back of every kindred living in Nice. That city is because then sorry. A vacuum of power is the last thing you want right now, my dear.
I have a feeling that we have at least one among us who would, or who does, convert the princedom. That being
I'm not
Maxime.
surprised. Maxime. I would have assumed it was that Toreador Adelaide who would be looking for a spot like that. I admit I don't know your conspirators very well.
Well, I wouldn't put it past her, but my money would be on Maxime, truth be told.
Roderick would not approve of this. Not that I would recommend tattling on your coterie member. That's a bad look, no matter who does it and for what reason.
Ranier does the my lips are sealed motion.
Besides, I haven't spoken with Roderick in ages. You know, the four of us once ran Nice for a while. Just running circles around Corentin, just as the four of you are doing now.
You did? I was not aware.
There's a reason we were all in Nice. A reason your coterie has come together. I've made sure to pull the appropriate strings. And Reinhardt has been watching, observing, letting the rest of us know what he's seen as well. Besides the point, you need someone to point the finger at. Are you certain
Exactly.
Are you certain it needs to be kindred?
That's the next point I actually wanted to discuss. The Childer of your name's the Childer of Richard is in the city, as I'm sure you know.
Madeleine.
Madeleine, exactly. And she has been spied on. I managed to backtrace those those informations go, at least partially, and the way it looks, there is a non-zero chance that the Vatican is involved.
Her piercing green eyes that were looking rather warm, amused, entertained a moment ago, have frozen solid, cold, daggers of ice looking at you.
Ranier actually shrinks a little bit in his seat.
If I remember correctly, then, Madeleine, the fledgling girl who was a witness to your murder, the high-ranking Camarilla agent, also happens to be the prince, the child of the Prince of Cannes,
Right.
who also was being spied upon by the entity.
Everything points to that, yes. Ranier actually manages a very small smile. Funny story that I actually pondered faking some evidence that the entity was spying on her as well and pinned that on whoever, did it first. But it seems like that won't be necessary.
Oh, Anye. If it were just a simple matter of politics and murder, this changes everything.
It does. Which is why I came asking for you, and why I think that you should know that, because if worse comes to worse, they are coming. And if they are coming, then it's not about, as you said, not about politics anymore. Then we need to get out here fast.
She, taps her very sharp nails on the arm of the chair she's sitting in. We need to leave, Renier.
We do.
How soon are you willing to abandon Nice?
Ranier does a little bit of calculations in his head. I want to leave nothing behind, of course, that could point towards me or any other of us for that matter. Maybe a week.
A week? That might be enough time to get my affairs in order. It would look... she actually, kind of grunts a little bit, which she only does when she's, presented with a really hard like problem or theory in front of her that she's like trying to understand, and you can see her unraveling the Gordian knot of the problem you've presented her with in her mind. Paris would not understand with why we are leaving, fleeing, if we don't tell them. But telling them also would more likely bring the spotlight of guilt upon you and the rest of the coterie.
Or Corentin, maybe. It is their domain. And then there's the option that maybe they might lose their position, and then we are at the point that we wanted to avoid. A vacuum of power. And all eyes on us.
If Paris knew the Inquisition, the entity, or Second Inquisition, I guess they're interchangeable.
Yeah, pretty much.
If Paris knew that the Inquisition was a niece and had been bucking a child of a prince, I don't know. We barely managed to survive the last 2 decades. Processes haven't even been voted on or codified in the Ivory Tower's regulations. This would be unprecedented since London fell, and Nice is nowhere near as important as London was.
Not in the slightest, and yet still, these are unprecedented times, are they not?
How did they get here?
How indeed. My hopes are that I can trace back that flow of information further still. But of course the very real risk is that I cannot do that, because if that's the Inquisition, they have the best hackers in the world, and I'm good. But I'm not that good.
First things first, scapegoat. You need
Yes.
someone. Is there perchance a human you'd be willing to throw under the bus?
Rainier thinks, and then actually not. I think there is someone. It would actually kill a lot of birds with one stone, if you will.
It'd be simple enough. Name the human. Confirm with Richard so that he can back you up as he has promised.
Yes.
Have Maxime tell Corentin what is going on as far as having found a villain. And then you and your coterie take them out. With Richard and Corentin backing you up, Paris will accept it as as closing of the file on the case of the murder of Roz. After that, though, with the Inquisition,
If we manage to do that before the week ends, then it would not pose a problem, I think. Then, well, things just worse things came to worse. Ross got mixed up with the wrong crowd. Things went out of control, and now we need to flee. And we tied up all loose ends regarding that. In that case, maybe we wouldn't be welcome as heroes, but at least no one could reasonably object to us going there until our track runs cold again.
Rainier, if it were up to me alone, I would command you to abandon your holdings in Nice, drive with me to the nearest airport, and fly north.
Yes.
I have a haven in Denmark. And the nights are practically eternal at this point in time of year. We could live comfortably and safely. Then we'd have the Camarilla on our backs.
And I'd lose my coterie. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I love them well from the bottom of my heart, but I think they could make good convertites one of these nights. At least some of them could. And
They
you
are
know,
the childer of my old coterie members. It would look very bad if we were to abandon them
exactly.
to the Second Inquisition. No.
We have to keep up appearances. You and me both. Because you'd be abandoning some of your old coteries, childer, and I would be abandoning my coterie. And I told you before, I am ready to accept Seth's blessings, but I am not a murderer, and that would be more murder.
Leave the murder to one of your coterie members. Just point the finger and have them act. Reinhardt's girl should be able to do that well enough.
Oh yes, she would. If you'd allow me, I would call one of my coterie members then and talk with her about it, because I feel that this would be the most prudent action. Will I be able to reach you tomorrow?
You are not going anywhere this evening, Rainier. We are both havening here during the day together. And tomorrow, you can act with my blessing. But we have much more to discuss before then. Tell me every single bit of your plan. And then you can call your friend.
All
And I think
right.
that might be a good point to fade.
All right. So to sum it up, Rainier will tell her who to blame. I'm gonna leave that in the dark for now to keep up the suspense.
Perfect.
And then afterwards, he'll with her allowing it, of course, will be calling Adelaide.
Okay. For now, we fade on that scene. We pick up elsewhere. Maxime and Meg.
Yes.
What?
Where are we?
I guess after the Addicts Anonymous, I would have, because Maxime told me to go to his apartment, I'll go there, I guess. I'll after my meeting, I'll be going to Maxime's apartment. So I think that's where we are.
Right.
But how
I
does
would-
Raphael show up?
I would, if Megara would have shown up, Maxime would have just opened the door, let her in, and he would like, Megara, good to speak with you. Good that you've come. Please, come inside.
Yes. Thank you.
You would still see that, like, Maxime's apartment is always a bit messy. He's not a tidy person. There's always some books and stuff scattered around. But you would also notice still there's on one little side table, you see this axe lying there next to a closed book. And there's also on that same table, there's some dirty towels next to the book and the axe.
Dirty how?
There would be like some remains of what looks like blood on there.
All right. And there's books on the floor, you said?
Yeah, books, a lot of the usual mess that Maxime has in his apartment.
I think Meg would pick up one book off the floor, not necessarily looking for something specific, but she'll just pick up one and put it back in an empty space. And then she'll turn to you and then point to the axe with her head, and she goes, "You chopping some wood out there?"
I'm not sure if I will be soon. that is kind of the topic of what I wanted to talk with you about. Let me cut to the chase.
Please.
I've had a conversation with one of your pack members.
Her expression darkens.
I was on an appointment last night, and in an alley, Lucille met me.
Her expression becomes bleak.
I think that you and your pack can play a vital role in solving our problems. We can cooperate and give you and your pack a good position in a better run Nice. Because think on it, Megara. How much have you and your pack done already for the city? And how unrewarded have all of you gone for that?
Maxime, you're right. We have done so much for the city, gone unnoticed.
What has Corentin ever done to give you and your people the correct rewards? I am convinced, as maybe I should not say this, but I think Corentin should have made one of you sheriff of this domain to patrol the streets, keep us safe. Yet, they didn't. Lucille agrees with my assessment of this situation. I do believe that if our coterie has the support of you and your pack, we can deal with Corentin, and we don't have to worry about the backlash.
She picks up a book from the floor, opens it. Not far. Maxime, what have you told Lucille about our endeavors?
Maxime takes a few steps back, turns his back to Megara. I think I've made my intentions clear to her. The intention being that we need to rid ourselves of Corentin.
Maxime, you are not answering questions clearly. You hear the book close quite loudly. What have you told Lucille?
I turn back around, I look at Megara, and I can probably see in her expression that this is going in the wrong direction. But
If you're looking at Megara, she's looking you straight in the eyes.
yeah, that glare that just goes right through. And Maxime looks at her, then quickly glances over to the axe on the table, but he realizes that in no reality could he get to that axe before Megara could get to him.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well,
And I say,
if you want, the axe begins floating over to you, Max. Quick
Do I
as
see
a just instantly flies straight into your hands. If you think about grabbing the axe, it flies into your hands.
I think about that, and I'm not aware that that would happen because Maxime is fully calculating. His mind is going like, I can't reach the axe. She's faster. She's stronger. And then it just starts levitating towards me, and you can see Maxime's surprise on his own face. And Maxime grabs the axe, lowers it, looks at Megara. I've told Lucille that I want to get rid of Corentin. And I grip the axe as tight as if my life depends on it right now.
You see Megara's jaw clench together. And she grips this book so tightly that her nail marks are in there. She then throws the book to the ground, probably leaves an indentation of some sort in the floorboard. And then she just Maxime, you are an idiot.
There is opportunity in this, Megara.
I do not think you understand the meanings of my sire. I do not think you understand how attached this 7-foot man is to the White Tower.
If he is so attached to the White Tower, then why does he not rid Nice of the weakness that is Corentin?
Because he is not allowed. We are not allowed.
Since when did your clan ever ask for permission?
Since we became Camarilla. We have
you
been
think-
Anarch for so long. Maxime, I know what you're thinking. Anarch above Anarch. Above everything. You are completely right. Anarch don't ask for permission. However, in this Camarilla sake, in this Camarilla society that we run, we ask for permission.
Maxime throws down the axe in the floorboard next to him, just like cleaves the floorboard with it, drops it, and says like, do you think you need to school me on pyramids and hierarchy, Megara Monet? Do you think you need to tell me of the blood of Tremere about what it means to be put on leashes, put into places? Do you think that you have to teach me what it means to crave, to break free from that? It is what I want for us, Megara.
Maxime, you have the best intentions in mind. However, having a 7-foot tall man after me trying to rip me apart sounds like a fate worse than death.
Then we'll make it look like you were not involved in this. I talked to Lucille. I told her what was on my mind. You still have an alibi. I can go meet with her. I have plans. Should things go wrong, I can take care of myself. I need you to make sure that if this backfires, you are the one to take me down. You can walk from this if this goes wrong. No one needs to know that I was trying to also cut you off of the leash. But I think deep down you don't want to be in this position.
She straightens her tie. You, Maxime, are a dangerous man. I don't know what went wrong since we killed Roz, but something inside you has changed, and I don't like it. Your plan, let me finish. Your plan is one of a madman. However, we have gone too far now. There is no pulling back. You are on thin ice, Maxime.
I can hear the ice cracking on every step I take.
So what? We go to the castle? Talk to the clan? The group?
Lucille has invited me to meet her on the hill, the mountain. I will go there alone.
Are you out of your mind?
Listen, let me finish, Megara. I will go there alone. I will have tools at my disposal should things go wrong. But should they go completely wrong, I need to know that there is someone there who is in a position, and quite frankly, after this conversation, in a mood to put a stake through my chest.
She comes up real close to you. And she goes, if I wasn't in a mood before, I am now.
Point of order. Sorry to interrupt. How close are we to a potential fury frenzy?
Oh, I mean, I can speak. Please, Megara, please.
This is both the both of you. When that axe came down, I was like, oh, it's on.
Yeah.
I think that Megara has calmed down for sure. She wants to fight him so bad. So bad. She wants to rip him to shreds.
Enough to call for a willpower to resist frenzy?
Do it.
Sure. Why fucking not?
Okay.
This is chaos. I like it, actually.
I'm
Yeah.
setting the difficulty to 2.
Good.
So you're going to roll willpower. If you've spent willpower, you cannot roll it, FYI. And you're going to add 1/3 of your humanity to the dice, rounded down. So what are you at, 7?
I'm at 7 humanity, yes.
So you get to add
3.
2 extra dice to this willpower
2?
check. 1/3.
Oh,
2,
1/3.
2.
Got
Yeah.
it. My bad.
Okay.
You're
I was
right.
like, wait.
No. 1/3. I
You get to add 2 dice to this willpower check. You need 2 successes to resist a fury frenzy. At which point, I don't know what happens.
Wait, I just
Nervous
clicked it and
laugh.
it didn't come up. Oh.
That's one success
Mm,
on 6 dice.
yes.
And you cannot use willpower to reroll.
Against a player.
Okay. Okay. Fury
Okay.
Frenzy.
We're doing this.
Provocation causes Fury Frenzy. A vampire in Fury Frenzy stops at nothing to tear the cause of the provocation to pieces, often together with anyone nearby, friend or foe. Luckily, there's no one nearby, except Madeline is in her room in this apartment.
That's a ghost.
Well, there's
Can I
a
rip him
ghost.
to
There's
shreds?
a ghost. There's a
God.
ghost. So you can also spend willpower to suppress the effects of the frenzy for a turn. So what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna change the rules a little bit. Each turn that you spend suppressing, you get to make a new willpower check, but subtract the 1 die. So it gets harder each check you
Right.
don't make it.
Okay.
If you so choose to suppress the effects of the frenzy.
I don't think she will.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Can I
then we're
describe what it looks
initiating
like
combat.
now? I guess so. So I guess what that looks like when she fails that frenzy check is she doesn't get larger. However, she looks it. Well, first of all, her jacket has come off. She is like, she rips it off. I'm doing this very diplomatically, but she rips it off. And her muscles are clearly exposed through the beautiful white thing that she's wearing, and through the white shirt, and she has this shadow over her. It is a big hulking person who doesn't have to breathe but looks like she is. Her body is expanding and reducing in rapid form. Her teeth have become sharper than they have ever looked. Her eyes have become a brighter yellow, and her hair has become this. It almost looks like the curls have gone out of it, and she like flicks it back, and it's like long hair now. And there's even like hair coming out of her face, her nails growing longer. And she looks down at you, and then she grabs you by your shirt.
Okay.
Is that how I initiate combat?
Yeah, go ahead and make
Yeah.
athletics and strength.
Because
Maxine?
I do want to smash him against the wall that he's
Yeah.
like that his back is facing toward.
Let's start with that. Athletics and strengths. Actually, brawl and strength. Sorry.
Exactly.
Maxine, go ahead and roll dexterity and brawl to defend. I will also say add 2 to your dice rolls.
Both of us?
No, Maxine.
Oh.
Maxine, thank God.
Oh. Okay.
As the suit aids you.
Of course. Fucking piece of shit.
Add 2 dice.
Oh,
Oh.
wow. That's beautiful.
Okay.
Oh.
We got 5 successes versus 9.
Oh shit.
Okay, Maxine, you
Oh,
take 2
shit.
points of bludgeoning damage because it is halved.
Mhm.
As she smashes you into the wall, plaster falling to the ground.
Yeah, it is actually okay. So, how far is he away from the wall?
That's 2
where were you
points of
standing?
superficial damage. Sorry, wrong.
Superficial.
yeah.
How
He-
far
may-
away from
maybe
you
he-
from what wall? Where were
I
you
don't think I would
standing?
be that. I would not be that far away from a wall. Like if Meg is on me and just grabs me, like there's quite some velocity that she could throw me
Yeah.
into the wall with.
Yeah, because it is a grab, and then she like pulls you toward her, and then just fucking bashes you forward against the wall. And while she does that, she goes, "Dumbass!"
Maxime is just completely taken by the force of this. Like Megara was on him before he could do anything, and it's just now being slammed into the wall, head hitting against the wall. And he's trying to like, Megara, calm down. And
Calm down, imbecile.
Maxime, what do you do?
I look again at the axe that I threw into the floorboard.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make it fly to me, but in an angle that it grazes Megara? Like, not cuts deep, but just like grazes?
Roll occult
I'm like
Okay.
shaking.
and
This is so much adrenaline.
wits.
I'm shaking too.
Meg, I need you to roll dex and melee to dodge this.
That's
I'm trying to
very
find the
bad.
right song. I know.
Oh,
I
and
have
that
it.
is actually what I rolled is a messy critical because one of the 10s is on my hunger die. So this
Great.
for a total of 6 successes with a messy critical. So I'm not sure the grazing part is in here anymore because this is a messy critical.
Yes.
I might.
Don't you dare fuck up my girlfriend.
That's only
I'm gonna
two
stab you.
Two
No, fuck me
successes.
up. Come on.
Yeah,
on.
so I would say like the axe, like I try to make it come to me in a movement that it just barely cuts over the shoulder, but as I realize, as Megara just slams me into the wall again, there's just like, okay, fuck it, and the axe comes flying and cuts into the shoulder, like really cuts into the shoulder as Maxime like then grabs it.
How much damage should I take?
We're calling that you had 2 successes versus the
6 successes.
The 6 successes. So that's 4 points of superficial damage. Minus 1 if
Minus
you're
1.
wearing the suit that Adelaide gave you.
The shirt. I'm wearing the shirt. Yes, the
No.
jacket has been ripped off. However, I'm sorry,
a lot of
darling.
a lot of it is in the jacket.
Damn it.
Unfortunately, so you take 4 points of superficial damage, not halved because it's not bludgeoning; it's slashing.
Literally, exactly what the suit was for.
Yeah. No, you're
Take the
absolutely
jacket
right.
off.
I know. It's in her frenzy. She just rips it off. She has to let those muscles breathe.
As that happens, Maxime, the suit appears like in front of you, like you're up against the wall. He's behind Meg's shoulder, and he says, "Come on,
And
Meg, it's your turn."
when it grazes her, when it cuts
Cuts.
her deep,
Yeah.
you just hear her like, "Ugh. Really? That's what I get for your mistakes?" And I think that's when she will pick him up once again and sling him against another wall.
Okay,
Bring it.
so
Bring it.
yeah, strength and brawl, plus versus the dex and brawl. That's what we were using before, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Don't forget to add 2 for the suit's influence. Although if you were
Suit's
letting
influence.
him take control, it would be a lot more than that.
I don't want to fuck him up too bad.
Holy. That is 10 successes on
Oh
that.
my god.
That's disgusting.
That is.
I thought
Oh.
my 6 was great at the
That was
beginning.
4 10s. Holy okay. So altogether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 successes Okay, versus the 5. So you take another. It's still only another 2 points of superficial damage
Oh.
to Maxime.
Oh my god.
But the apartment got real fucked up with that.
Oh yeah, like
because I smashed him through a bookcase.
yeah,
one
I
of
think
them.
like
Oh,
into a bookcase and
no.
it falls on top of you, and that's where that
Oh.
extra damage comes from.
Yeah.
yeah, clatters all over on top of me as you just ram me through that.
Maxime, it's your turn.
I shove some books aside, still have the axe in hand. If you want to finish me, keep that anger for when we're done with the plan.
Maxime, you are truly insufferable.
Okay, before it is your turn, Meg,
Mhm.
it's someone else's turn. Madeline's in the apartment.
Oh god.
I think she comes out and screams.
Mm.
Her obfuscate's not strong enough. I was thinking about it. It's not strong enough for her to like sneak by or move while invisible. She can only go invisible while standing still.
Yes.
She's a fledgling. So I think she opens the door and screams when she sees you. And that's it. Meg, what do you do?
Would that break me out of my frenzy?
If anything, she might become a target. But if you want to spend a
Oh.
willpower to break yourself out for a turn, I will give you a chance to fight off the frenzy.
Because I don't want to hurt her. Because she is very important. If I think if I hurt her, we might lose our chance of pinning anything on anyone.
Even though the beast is in control, there's still you at the back going, whoa, 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 whoa. whoa.
Well, yeah. So I think I will try to suppress my frenzy here.
Okay.
When I
spend the
see
will-
her.
Spend the willpower. So you're gonna make the resist check again with 1 die less.
Okay. This better be good then.
We need 2 successes.
There we go.
Just barely.
Just barely.
Okay, we come out.
I
of
think
initiative.
that shows that it's just barely. I think that these features that she has gained through her frenzy, that they recede only a little bit.
They don't recede at all because
Oh shit.
Gangrel, Clan Bane, when you frenzy, the animalistic features stay for a time
Oh, okay.
and become
That's
a
crazy,
potential
actually.
masquerade breach.
Oh, down. Okay. Yeah. I see her and I immediately I stop this frenzy. And then I look at myself. And then I look back at Maxime. And then I storm out.
Okay. Before we leave, you gain 1 animalistic feature now
Okay.
that gives you a 1 die penalty to one of your attributes.
I think what would be very cool for an animalistic feature is that her ears are a little more pointy than normal.
And that is a penalty to...
To one of my charisma skills, you said?
one of your attributes. So it could
Oh.
be charisma, manipulation, or composure.
Yeah, because I think the social aspect would be
It's like charisma then,
all right.
or however you. I think it's your pick.
I think it's charisma as well.
Okay.
You're right.
You leave, and Madeline rushes over to Maxime to try and like help him out from underneath the bookshelf as we fade on that scene. And we've got a stretch in chat, so everyone remember to
My
stretch.
God.
Oh,
Move those
yeah.
shoulders.
That stretch was necessary.
I felt my body tense up.
Ooh, and
physically.
we had to hydrate. We had to hydrate.
Hey,
Oh my
I am
God.
near the end of my second bottle of water tonight.
Hmm. Good hydration. Good job.
Well done, everyone.
Yeah, good job, Meg.
Good
Thank
job
you for
almost
the
killing me.
hydrate.
We come to Adelaide.
Yes.
Are you still at the party or
Making
what?
the rounds, wandering, wanting to be seen, seeing as Quarantan did make mention of her absence.
Okay.
But
You got a
is
phone
willing-
call.
She's willing to leave anytime, yes.
You get a phone call. And you happen to be right in front of one of the doors to the exterior of the yacht.
Mhm.
So you can step out onto the promenade if you wanted
Easily.
to answer the phone in privacy.
I would wander out to whatever the coldest spot is that no human would be at.
Very top, there's a hot tub, so there might be humans there.
Mhm.
You'd be best on the lower level, sort of
Yeah,
out towards where the dock is.
perfect.
Unless people are coming and going, no one's hanging out there.
Okay.
It's Rainier.
Yes.
That Ranier says it like this should tell you everything, because normally it's like, hey, Eddie, how are you doing? I'm just PayPaling you the money right now. But since he doesn't do that, it must be serious.
I was about to say, oh, my full name. What's happened?
I think it's best if we talk about that in person. Listen, I'll be occupied for the night, but if it's convenient to you, I'd like to meet up with you first thing next night. Believe me, it is important and you would want to hear it. Ideally, Mac and Maxime should be there as well. And I'm just gonna say that much. Get your stuff in order.
I am very concerned.
Believe me, not as concerned as you probably should be.
Okay. Curious and concerned. I'll
That's
speak
what I
to you
do.
tomorrow. Come to the penthouse.
I will. Be careful. Keep an eye out. I'll get up to your apartment tomorrow night. If the others are there, splendid. If not, well, there's some things I'd like to discuss with you, just the two of us anyway, so win-win. Talk to you then.
Okay. I have some interesting news as well, so maybe it correlates, maybe not. We'll see.
Well, we will see. Looking forward to it. Talk to you then.
Right you are.
And with that, Renier hangs up and, well, he goes back talking to Rana.
Excuse me.
Adelaide, you hang up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
What's your next move?
Glancing around, keeping an eye out for what's her name again? Rebecca. That was in character.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. God. Sparkling water. It attacks you. No. She would glance around questioningly. I don't know what else she would do here. Yeah, I genuinely can't think of what else she would do here. It doesn't seem like the sort of situation where, for example, she would go trying to snoop around in Corentin's yacht. Um, she's not that type. If it were literally anyone else here, they would go snooping. But Adelaide likes Corentin. She is with them. Unlike the rest of her coterie.
Mhm.
She really, really likes them. She is unsure about them at this point with Alphonse BS.
Mhm.
But at the moment, she's hesitant to act on anything.
I think as you're standing there, a figure, a small bird-like figure, shadow, flies across where you're at, and landing on the handle, like the sort of railing, is a large owl that blinks at you and like spins its head all the way around and then back again, and then like nods and bobs a couple times.
Do I know who this is? I'm assuming.
I don't know if you do.
Has she not seen his owl form? I mean, she's been over to the house many, many times.
And she has. You recognize Raphael.
Okay. She just reaches out a finger and boops the beak.
His eyes go wide, and then he like hops to the ground. And as he does, he just like elongates Animorph style into his form. Inez, can you describe Raphael for us again?
Oh, did I ever describe him?
I'm sure.
If so, I don't remember.
Make it up.
I'll make it up. I think he has olive tanned skin. He has these deep brown eyes. He I don't know. I think he has like very curly black hair that is like shaved on the sides but longer on top. And it's like all in curls, and it kind of obscures his eyes a little bit. And he wears like very, very casual no. I think he would be wearing a sweater and then one of those baseball jackets.
Ooh.
The one with like the white and red, or maybe
We're
it would
so
be like
in
blue
right
and
now.
yellow. Yeah. So one of those. And then he would be wearing like very baggy pants that are like either of jean material or just like of some kind of dark, like blackish material. And he wears these big boots underneath there.
Okay.
I think that's what he looks like.
So as he changes into his human self, he says, he's just like leaning up against the railing. Hey, Adelaide.
Raphael.
Saw you here, down here by yourself on the phone. Thought I'd say hi.
Were you listening in by any chance?
I mean, I heard your end of the conversation. Wasn't very illuminating.
What do you want, Raphael?
How are you doing?
How am I doing?
Yeah.
You didn't come here to talk about how I'm doing and how the weather is. And oh, isn't the sky so nice and fine and no clouds in the sky? No.
I mean, it's
What
a pretty
do you
good night
want?
for flying, yeah.
I genuinely do not care.
Well, I didn't come here. I mean, I'm spying on the prince. That's what I usually do. And you're here.
Would I trust Raphael to tell him about the prince's offer?
I don't know.
No? Okay.
Nice
Thank you,
shaking your head.
Inez. Fuck
Absolutely not. This man's trust is like a colander. Everything goes
Mm.
through.
So, things have been interesting of late. I would love for them to be less interesting, but we do what we must.
For sure. Listen, you haven't seen like the sheriff around, have you? You know what he's up to tonight?
I haven't seen him tonight, but he is my coterie.
Yeah, we know. He smiles. That's why I'm
Mhm.
asking.
No, he hasn't been at the party tonight. He's off
Probably
doing his
busy.
own thing. Yeah,
Yeah, working a case or something. Strikes
as
me
he
as the
does.
detective type. You
Sorry,
wouldn't
I just saw
happen.
that he's having a very relaxing evening.
You wouldn't happen to know about a certain conversation he had yesterday with Lucille, would you?
Does Adelaide know about that?
No.
No. I have genuinely no clue what you're talking about.
Ah, fuck. Well, they talked
Why?
about
What did he say?
something. Well, I don't know. I was hoping you knew what they talked about. I just knew that they talked.
I have not seen him, so even if he were to tell me what was going on, I haven't been around him for him to tell me anything.
Well, they're up to something. I followed Lucille because I thought, well, I thought she was gonna do something bad. It looked like she
Mm-hmm.
was gonna do something bad. It looked like she wanted to punch his lights out. And then she started smiling. It's never good when Lucy starts smiling.
Hmm. Wait, sorry. Did people freeze or?
No,
Oh, okay. It sounded like you cut off suddenly, so I was like waiting for something else to be said.
I just said it's never good when she starts smiling and he kind of looks at you.
Hmm. I find it's never good when people ask too many leading questions.
Hey, you're dating one of us.
Hmm.
You're a friend. An ally, even. I'm offended that you mistrust me so much. I thought we were on good terms, Adelaide.
Hmm. With you,
Listen, Meg's like a little sister to me. Never get in the way of her and whatever you guys got going on. I'm just trying to figure out what's happening. Because something's going on.
you know, I don't think that it's any of your concern at the moment.
He taps the side of his nose. See, you say that, and then it becomes my concern. And then it's like you lied to me, you know?
Hmm.
We wouldn't lie to each other.
Oh, no, never. Of course not.
So I'll keep you in the loop. And you'd keep me in the loop.
As soon as there's a loop to keep you in.
Great. Great.
Hmm.
So, next time you come by the house, well, we'll catch up.
Hmm. I'm spending this whole time like trying to read his body language specifically. Like, what does he want from Adelaide here?
Go ahead and make an insight and wits roll, please. I'm putting together a dice pool.
Insight. Sorry. Those
Yes.
and insight motives, yes? I have a
Uh,
specialty in motives.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Yay. Thank you. So instead of the 3 in insight, I add 1.
Yeah, you can add 1 with your
Excellent.
specialty.
I have 4 successes.
So does he.
Ooh.
Then it goes to the active vampire, no?
Yes, meets beats. Okay. He likes you. He does like you. He
Hmm.
is looking for an ally. He is concerned about what Lucille is up to and knows that you are a member of Maxime's coterie and hopes that you can get in. He also wants to fuck shit up. He's stirring the pot.
Cool, cool. I love it. Adelaide doesn't love it, but I love it.
Okay.
She reaches up and pats him on the cheek. I'll keep in touch.
Do so.
Hmm.
If you ever need me, just leave out a juicy morsel on the roof of your penthouse. I'll see it. I slip by once a night.
That is concerning. I'm going to make sure that my curtains are drawn.
Well,
Always.
I just check out. I fly around the whole town.
Uh-huh.
Don't take it personally.
I brush a loose feather off of his shoulder.
Thanks.
Hmm.
Anyway, I'll leave you to your fancy party. You and the prince are so tight. It's kind of surprised you're not further ahead. But then someone like Meg, you don't have a lot of like political aspirations, I'm sure.
Just looks at one of her many chunky rings. Glances back up at him with an eyebrow raised. So you say?
Okay. Well, I'll leave you to it then.
Bye-bye.
He just walks off the dock, stays in human form, keeps walking through the night.
Curious. Well, she adjusts everything. And it's like, how late in the evening is it at this point?
We're probably getting close to 3:30 a.m.
Okay. So she
You've got about 3
knows-
hours before you fall asleep.
She knows where Meg was earlier in the evening. She checks the time. She should probably be home. Is going to go back there.
Okay. And we'll find out how that all goes next time.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
This
Oh,
went
oh,
not
That's gonna be
whatsoever how I
Much
expected it
drama.
at all.
I need to take off this tie. Ines,
Okay.
it's been an honor getting thrown through a wall by you. Let's do this again soon.
Yeah,
Call me.
You very
yeah.
well may.
You very well may. Exactly. You very well may have just a stake driven through your heart. Don't worry about it.
Like you do.
That was beautiful. I loved it. I loved it so much that I started shaking. I get very
I'm
excited about
still
fights.
shaking.
It was really awesome.
I
And
get
I
very excited about fighting someone.
Also, being in the audience for the scene with Rainier, like what's cooking there, I'm so curious. Like, what's the Setites gonna do? And we only
What's the
have
setup?
one.
Man, what's the jig?
We only have one session left. This is
Ugh.
gonna be dynamite.
That is correct. The season finale of of our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle is on Saturday in 2 weeks, April 1st.
Oh yeah.
Not a joke.
Yeah, it will not be a joke. It might
Not a
be
joke.
the
Mm-mm.
killing joke. No, I don't.
Absolutely not funny.
There's the
Um,
episode
no.
name.
Yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you, chat, for being engaged and
Yes,
talking.
thank
We
you.
love it. We love to see it. We do this because we stream this because we love having you here with us.
Yes.
It makes it so much better.
Mm-hmm. We do it for you and for us a little
Yeah.
bit, but for you, you know.
No, I do it
We
mostly
do
for
it
me.
for you.
Yeah. I mean, I do it for the disaster lesbians who did not wear her jacket.
You know, in effect, it actually got ripped. Like, I'm sorry, it got ripped in half. She had to I think she actually just ripped it in half across her back and just
Damn.
yeah.
That just gives me the
They're
idea
gonna
how
be-
Adelaide is like, what were you thinking when you then Megara rips it off? Where, like, what was that? What was I saying?
I think she also left that jacket there. She just stormed out, not thinking about getting the
Yeah.
jacket back. So that's going to be
Adelaide
an
ain't
awkward
gonna be too
conversation with
happy.
Maxime being like, "Hey, I want my jacket back."
So-
Let
Anyway.
Adelaide fix this jacket.
We'll be back in 2 weeks, but in the meantime, you can find all of us elsewhere on Twitch and the interwebs doing stuff. So let's get
Yes.
some plugs. Marcus, kick us off.
Yeah, hello. Thanks for being here. My name's Marcus, online known as the Chindividual. You can find me on my socials on Twitter at the Chindividual. And usually when I'm not getting flung through walls by a gang roll, I am running a 5e D&D game set in Eberron over at Horde of Tales, which is twitch.tv/Horde of Tales. We run the adventure series of Convergence Manifesto, and we just had our 50th session last week, and we kicked off a new
Oh.
session, a new chapter last week. So we're pretty much at the beginning of a new adventure with a bunch of amazing heroes, very pulpy fantasy in Eberron. You should come check that out on Tuesdays. Also, on Friday on the same channel, we're starting our first game dedicated to the Stream for Survivors, which is for the WAVAW Rape Crisis Center, which is raising money for victims of sexual harassments and assault. And we are running on Friday a game of 3 kobolds in a trench coat on a Horde of Tales with an amazing crew. You should really look forward. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. And it's for an excellent cause. You can find all of that also on our socials on Twitter at horde_of_tales. Also, just quickly plugging it, you should, if you want to also help out another amazing cause, you should also check out Roll for Good, where is currently Roll for Good is a great initiative running tabletop RPGs for an entire weekend. And currently, GM signups are open, and Roll for Good is still looking also for people who help out modding, production, all the kinds of other stuff. If you want to help an amazing cause, check out also their Twitter, twitter.com/rollforgood, and see how you can help out a very amazing crew who makes amazing games possible for a great cause. That's it. See you in 2 weeks, and I'm looking very forward to this finale of this story.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Passing it then over to Anya.
Okay. Hi, I'm Anya Laleon Cosplay. I stream a variety of things on my Twitch channel. I think I might actually be streaming briefly tomorrow morning because I have the beta test of my new solo RPG, Tea and Toadstools, which is fully funded on Crowdfunder. We are
Yay.
still pushing for the stretch goals of getting more artwork inside. So if you're interested in that, I post about it on Twitter a lot. You can find the link very easily. funding goes through 9 a.m. Central European on Monday. So like 30-ish more hours, something like that. But you should definitely check it out. You get to play as a hedgehog being bothered by all your neighbors when you just want a nice warm spot in the sun and a cup of tea. It's a fun time. So yeah, that's me. I'm also a pro GM. I run a lot of games. This is actually my third game of the day. I did a lot today. And it's my birthday. Yay!
Happy
Yay!
birthday!
Birthday!
Pray for
Woo!
birthdays.
It's our second birthday extravaganza here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leaf's birthday was earlier this week. Wish him a happy birthday too.
Yes, happy birthday.
Okay.
Happy late birthday.
Pisces power all the way.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, that's me.
We go over to Henrik.
Yes.
All right. Hi, I'm Henrik. And when I'm not playing a scheming satellite who knows more than he probably should, I do a lot of actual plays in German, sadly. So unless you also speak German, I don't think my channel would be for you, sadly. But I also am a pro GM. And while I'm not plugging that round currently, I'm starting a game based on the Persona series very soon. There's still 2 seats available. So if you are interested, you can find me on my Twitter. Maybe shoot me a DM or something if you want to play. But apart from that, well, I was going to plug Roll for Good, actually. But that's already been done. But I'm reiterating here. It's awesome. It's very good. You should check it out, definitely. And that's all I got to say.
Inez.
Hi, everyone. My name it's me, your friend Inez, of course. I'm your very good friend. Why wouldn't I be your friend? It's not like I'm gonna punch you through a wall or something.
I mean, we didn't throw axes at you.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Hi. This was crazy. This was kind of crazy. I'm still kind of shaking, but it was really fun. It's so much fun. Let's see. Yeah, you can find me everywhere on the internet. At XXSuccubusJeff or just SuccubusJeff. My face is everywhere. It's very easy to find me. Let's see. Twitter and TikTok are most active. TikTok, I've been slacking on the posts, but I swear I'm recording tonight and I will be uploading more tomorrow. So don't worry about it. And then Twitter is where I post about when I go live, like this, and then also on Wednesdays. So it's also every 2 weeks Wednesdays. So next Wednesday I won't be live, but the Wednesday after that I will be live on Life with Rogue, the Twitch channel, where we also play Vampire the Masquerade, where I play characters like Letitia Dauphine, who have a cool sword and are very sexy Toreador, and then also a character like Diana Ortiz Casieja, who is becoming death. So come check that out. That's like we're in the last 2 chapters. It's gonna be very. It's gonna. We're also in the penultimate episodes and all that stuff. So it's gonna be very, very dramatic ending, and a lot of crying because we have been doing this campaign for about a year and a half. So, yeah. Yeah. Come check that out. I'm very proud of it. It's some of my best acting work in there. Yeah. I'm very excited to come to you for you to come check it out. I love you so much. Take care of yourself, please.
Awesome.
Love.
I have been your host and storyteller for this evening, Crifu Bernal. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch at Crifu Bernal. I'll be here on Monday with another episode of our Starfinder game, Space Flicks and Kill, where Chrisith is going to deal with. I mean, Inez just gets all of the emotional punches on this channel, basically.
And I love it. You know what? I love it. I love being emotional.
But I will also be back here on Friday with the next EU Happy Hour, where the crew from the Pathfinder podcast Cut from the Chronicles are taking over again, and we wrap up the second half of our adventure. It's been like several months. We couldn't get together in January, but it'll be a good time. I'm playing human barkeep gunslinger who's basically a hoe.
Work.
I love it. I
Work.
love it for them.
In the meantime, everyone, please check out our calendar, join the
Mhm, mhm.
Discord.
Mhm,
We follow us on socials for all the great stuff that we do. And stay tuned for the raid. We are heading over to Vancouver by night for some more.
Whoa.
I don't know what they're doing, but we're going over to Vancouver by night, so we'll see
They're
what they're
doing some
doing.
things.
Yeah, it
They're
says
doing
tabletop
something.
RPGs.
They're doing
Which-
Wraith the Oblivion. Which
Ah!
which
Nice.
is
That's
also some more
cool.
World
World
of
of Darkness for
Darkness
you.
goodness.
Perfect.
Love it.
Okay, we've even
Beautiful.
had a little wraith action this evening,
Okay.
so it's very much in theme. So stay tuned, say hello. Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Mwah, mwah. Goodbye.